this lesson is about monitoring. Now, monitoring is the process where the actual performance is compared to the planned performance. All parts of the operations process is monitored, such as our inputs, supply chain, transformation process, and outputs. Key performance indicators, or KPIs. KPIs are measured during the monitoring process. Examples of KPIs are lead times. How long does it take from ordering to producing the product? Defect rates. How many products have quality issues? Warranty claims. Often when a person buys a product, they get a warranty or a guarantee for that product. Now, if a person has a problem with their product, they'll make a warranty claim, which means they'll send the product back to the manufacturer for a new or amended product. Maintenance costs, process flow rates, which means how long does it take to produce the product through the operations process, and inventory turnover rates. How quickly are we using our raw materials? Now, control is an action that's taken once the KPIs have been assessed. So, once we've actually set up our KPIs, we actually need to now control them. If there is a difference between what the business aimed to achieve and what actually happened, changes must be made. So, we set up what we want to achieve. We want to achieve this many sales, this much product, we want this degree of quality, and we want this lead times. Then we compare those to what actually did happen. Often in a business, some areas will be strong and other areas will be weak. The business must make changes to the areas that are weak, where we're not achieving what we wanted to. Now, let's have a look at a restaurant as an example. When the business is in the process of control, the red numbers will force the operations manager to make changes in those specific areas. So, this particular restaurant has their KPIs. Now, their KPIs are how much profit are they making from food, alcohol, how much are they making per person that comes into the restaurant, and what's the degree of waste. Now, their target was $3,000 for food. That's how much they want to make for food in a week. You can actually see they've recorded they made $2,500. They are below their target. Something needs to change with food. They won't be happy with that number, so they'll be looking to see how they can improve the business to change that KPI. Improvement. The business will always look to reduce waste. Now, that's how much we're throwing out or how much product we can't use because it may be defective. We're trying to reduce poor work performance. Now, sometimes our workers may come late to work, they may not be using their time efficiently, or they may be making mistakes in the process. It's very important that the operations manager reduces all of these. Inefficiencies. It may be that part of our process is slowing down other parts of the processes. So we may have workers who are in line, ready to do their task, but they're having to wait because the previous section is slowing down. And bottlenecks. Bottlenecks means that we have a delay. Now let's have a look at bottlenecks in more detail. This occurs when the transformation process slows down, leading to a backlog of incomplete products. The operations manager must identify the specific area that is causing the bottleneck. Now, for example, in a bakery, they're going to use an assembly line. So they have massive ovens, and they've got people who are making their dough, and then that dough is put into the oven, and then from the oven we might be putting chocolate on top of that, and then we may have a cooling process, a checking process, and then we may be packaging. It may be that we have a lot of products that are coming through the oven, but when we go to put chocolate on those, it slows down. And so we have a backlog of products that are waiting. The problem with that as a bottleneck is that those products may cool down too much, and that reduces the quality of the product, and it also may lead to waste. So some of those donuts or cakes may need to be thrown out because the chocolate is just not ready for the process. Now, Motorola have come up with a strategy to improve this process in terms of monitoring and control. Motorola use this process to improve their operations process. It's called the Six Sigma process. It's actually only 5 steps. And the way that they do it is they define the process, what needs to happen. Then they measure the KPIs. What KPIs are we going to use to measure our performance? They then analyze the problems. They improve and implement their change, and then they control and consolidate the changes. It's a very effective way of producing a product with this 5-stage process. They believe it's an effective strategy because it gives the business direction. Workers know exactly what they're working towards, especially when the KPIs are developed, and workers often do need something to strive towards. And it can lead to improved business results. Businesses have found when they've followed the Motorola model here with the Six Sigma process that their sales have improved, their quality have improved, and their productivity have improved as a result. That lesson was all about monitoring and control.